protein obsession is out of control.
From your protein, my ride or die.
New protein Eggo waffles.
Crush hunger with Hot Pockets high-protein steak and cheddar.
Protein's in your water, your chips, your donuts, even your damn pasta.
Oh my God, but protein pasta's fucking heat. That's one that I won't diss. I think when they start wedging protein into like candy bars and shit, it's just, they're trying to convince you that it's a health food when it's not. Like, I don't want to bring it up, but like the Mr. Beast protein fortified milk, I saw somebody defending it with their life in a comment section and being like, Joe doesn't understand it is protein packed. It has as much protein as regular fucking milk does, right? It's not a protein supplement. If you want a protein supplement, drink fucking protein powder, right? Have whey. Drink fucking vegan protein powder, right? Like actual where you're getting like pea protein concentrates and shit. If you're going to drink the Mr. Beast milk to get your daily protein, dude, you realize like one bottle is like 80 grams of sugar or like 60 grams of sugar. It's the same shit with like, it's not even just that. It's the same stuff with like if you want to drink it because it's chocolate milk, that's fucking fine, right? Because that's what it is. Mr. Beast milk is chocolate milk. And I think people are reading the protein fortified shit and being like, oh, this is like a post-workout protein drink. No, it's not. Right? It's not a post-workout protein drink. It has protein. It has 15 grams of fucking protein. That's jack shit, dude. That's like one fucking chicken tender. Right? It's like, you got to eat protein naturally in your foods. Don't just be looking for that stuff. The biggest con of it all, he'll probably get into this, is protein bars. Protein bars nowadays, oh my God. They'll be like, try out this chocolate chip cookie dough protein bar. 25 grams of protein. 9 grams of saturated fat. Fucking 10 grams of sugar alcohol and 20 grams of regular sugars. That shit is like diabetes central. That is not going to make you big. It's going to make you fucking fat. Like, people don't read labels. They don't just read a fucking label. What are we doing? Why? Like, they'll read like, oh, it has 20 grams of protein. Read the rest of the stuff of what the fuck they're putting in it.
It's not just you. Protein is suddenly everywhere. Every year, its search popularity has been increasing, while the number of new products marketing their protein
because, bro, Americans don't understand. I don't think it's just Americans, but I would say it's mainly Americans. Americans don't understand that, like, the United States has, like, very few restrictions on what is put in food. And so you're eating, like, Red 40 cancer slop. And then once every year, humans in the US get like really obsessed with like one niche health thing that's really unhealthy or really healthy that they want or don't want in their food. And that changes the market, right? Whether it's like saturated fats, sodium, aspartame with like Diet Coke, that was big, right? Like a lot of like sucralose or like artificial sugar's too much. So like people focus so heavily on like diet stuff. And they're like, I don't want sugar. I don't want saturated fat. I don't want this. I don't want that. And the market will change and they'll gear that towards you. But instead, they'll just put stuff that's equally or if not worse in the fucking food or drink that you're having for you. And people don't care. You recommend any protein bars? Not really, honestly. I eat Cliff bars. I eat protein bars. They're all bad for you. Like, it's very rare that you're going to find a protein bar that's genuinely good for you, comparable to like just like an actual post-workout protein like powder that you're able to mix into a shake.
Content has almost doubled in the last 2 years. Some companies have even tried selling protein vapes because 71% of people aim to eat more protein in 2024, up from 59% in 2022.
I can't hit my protein.
20. Oh, baby bounce.
Not getting.
Well, yeah, you shouldn't be getting your protein from cheese. If you're like, I need to eat more protein, let me eat fucking blocks of mac and cheese. Cheat code to getting fat. Right? Like, I mean, bro, if you want to eat more protein, you got to eat more like plant protein and fucking non-fatty meats. Like lean ass tenderloins, breasts, chicken breast, turkey. That's like turkey ground meat. That's like 99% lean. It's going to be dry as a bitch. Like, that's the stuff that if you're bulking, if you're bulking, it's different. But like, even bulking, I feel like people just like dirty bulk. When people bulk now, it's like, I'm just going to eat like shit. I'm going to get really fat. And then I'm going to fucking say that I'm bulking for the next 3 years. Like, when is that cut coming? Right? I don't care what you do with your life, but like, when you bulk, you need to understand that you have to bulk in a clean manner. Because if you're just bulking in a dirty way, yeah, you'll gain 30 pounds. 25 pounds of that shit's going to be fucking fat, right? And you're not going to change that to muscle. You're just going to gain it and lose it.
Protein time!
But if you thought influencers were unhinged with this protein craze, just wait until you see the companies cashing in. From shady marketing to ridiculous new products, they've managed to rebrand everyday foods to charge a premium. But take a look closer and you'll see this protein boom isn't nearly as innocent as it looks.
Cheerios under fire tonight, the new lawsuit claiming a new version.
Well, it's usually like they divert. Companies know what you care about, and they know that you don't understand a lot of health-based things. And so instead of them making a protein-based thing that's healthy, they'll just remove one thing and add something else. Like, if you ever see, a big example I could give is these. You see them at the store, they're really good. Quest peanut butter cups. People love them. They taste amazing, and you're like, I'm eating healthy. Less than 1 gram of sugar per serving. 11 grams of protein. Wow! 7 grams of saturated fat. 7 grams of saturated fat. A metric shitload. It's just protein powder, effectively. First ingredient's just whey protein isolate. So it's just whey protein powder and fucking fat that you're eating, right? And that's short term, not really going to cause that many problems. Long term, heart disease, heart attack, stroke, right? Like if you eat saturated fat in high amounts, right? And people are munching down these. These are 4 mini cups of 7 grams of saturated fat. People are eating fucking 15, you know? You're getting your day's worth of saturated fat eating 1 or 2 servings of these Quest cups. Like, people do that and don't realize because they just care about one section of the pie instead of the whole pie.
Version of the classic with more protein has a lot more of something else as well.
So why is this protein gold rush happening?
And I'm not sitting here acting like I eat healthy, right? I eat like shit a lot of the time. But when I eat like shit, I'm like actively going, this is so bad for me, I just don't care. And if that's what you're about, that's fine, right? Because there is an argument to be made that it's bad for you, but it's not as bad for you, which you could make that argument. But, you know, that's what type of, you know, debate you're trying to have.
Happening now? How are companies getting away marketing regular products as protein snacks? And most importantly, what do you actually need to know before getting tricked by the label?
You guys talk about protein? I love protein. I love protein too. Protein rocks.
Protein's first true disciples were bodybuilders. By the 1970s, early sports science and gym culture had made it clear protein was essential for muscle repair and growth. But
Dude, it's so crazy to me that, like, pre-Arnold, the average physique of a man that was in shape was, like, very obtainable. Like, very obtainable. Now, I think people see, like, bodybuilders, and that's, like, you know, a ways away. But if you were just, like, moderately in shape in, like, the 60s, you were ripped. Shredded to the gills. You know, you had any visible abs. Because people, like, worked out, but it was, like, not to the point where they were ripping the gym all the time. It would be, like, whatever they got doing their, you know, actual physical labor.
First few supplements were awful. Protein of the sea was gritty, fishy, and borderline inedible. But as the fitness industry exploded, so did the demand for something better. By the 1980s, dairy-based protein, which was smoother and better tasting, became the gold standard.
What girl's gonna go for me with a body like this?
Hey, if the sight of yourself at 18 doesn't convince you, Tom, listen to your senior year girlfriend.
Hi, Tom. I'm waiting.
Milk. It does a body good.
Oh, big milk! Ah! 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 Oh, I knew it was going to get to this shit. Oh, my God. I was waiting for the fucking... Oh, got milk? Got milk? I'm not getting into this fucking shit anymore. I can't deal with it. Oh, my God. I thought it was going to be an ad for, like, a protein bar or fucking protein shake. It's just milk. Just an ad for milk.
Outside of the gym, though, nutrition trends were dominated by one thing.
Government's trying to pan that shit onto you.
Low fat. A handful of observational studies.
Why don't you like milk? Because milk isn't that healthy for you. People rave about milk and go, oh, fucking dude, just whole milk, fucking 2%. Oh, no, it's dude, it's so, what the fuck? Look at the back of a milk container. Yeah, it's more natural than a lot of other things that you're drinking. I'm not saying drink artificial shit, but like, I would argue that drinking like almond, oat, or soy milk is arguably much better for you than regular milk. Yes, you need calcium in your diet, but like milk also doesn't contain an absurd amount of calcium comparable to like a lot of other natural vegetables and foods that you eat.
Followed by official dietary guidelines in the 70s and 80s, blamed saturated fats for heart disease. Food companies saw low fat as a marketing goldmine, even if it meant replacing fat with sugar.
And then it reversed. It literally reversed. People get obsessed with fat, they get obsessed with cholesterol, then they get obsessed with sugar, then it reverts, then they get obsessed with protein. And so people just keep changing.
And low-fat yogurt, a good thing going for you every day.
By the late 90s, the cracks were obvious.
Because the American people go, I'm obsessed with fat, I don't want sugar, but I still want it to taste like it has that stuff. You can't get the best of both worlds most of the time. If you don't want to fucking die of heart disease, you're going to have to eat shit that doesn't taste as good. Why is that? It's always artificial sweeteners. There's like studies that show that like certain diet drinks and artificial sweeteners increase odds of like dementia. You could still have more kidney stones because you're eating like fucking like drinking diet tea consistently all the time. Like there's downsides to everything that you put in drinks, right? Saying like, oh, diet drinks have no downsides whatsoever isn't true, right? What the downsides are is still largely unknown because they're very new, right? And the studies are very new. But to say that like, oh, me jamming absurd amounts of sucralose into my drink is going to have no negative downside when I drink 5 of these every day is just likely wrong, right? Will it have less downsides? Maybe. But to say that it's like, oh, this is perfectly healthy for me.
Obesity rates kept climbing. The backlash came in the form of Atkins and other low-carb diets, flipping the villain from fat to carbs and putting protein and fat back in fashion. Through the early 2000s, supermarkets' health aisles became a battleground between low-fat and low-carb products. Meanwhile, social media was taking bodybuilding mainstream. Whey protein had become cheaper, tastier, and heavily promoted by influencers. Suddenly, high-protein everyday foods like Fage Greek yogurt and Quest bars were trending well beyond the gym. Brands began to notice something.
Bro, Quest bar's one of the reasons I got fucking hemorrhoids. I was taking way too much creatine, not drinking enough water, and I was eating a metric shitload of Quest bars. My poop turned to fucking literal sandpaper.
But protein was untouchable. By the 2020s, longevity-focused experts like Dr. Peter Attia were praising protein not just for bulking, but for preserving muscle with age, supporting immunity, and keeping you full. Protein now had a health halo. And then came the perfect storm. A global lockdown, widespread weight gain, and a renewed obsession with health. Weight loss drugs became mainstream, so dietitians urged patients to eat more protein to avoid muscle wastage while eating.
Well, and that's what's so fucked is so many people are like, Joe, you look like you're in shape. And I think I do eat better than the average American, and I think I work out a lot more than the average American. But just because you look healthy doesn't mean you are healthy, right? There's a lot of people that do lose weight using Ozempic, but they still don't get the calories in the caloric intake they need. They don't get the vitamins they need. They don't get the nutrients they need. Just because you're skinny and you look good doesn't mean you actually are healthy. The only thing that's different is like when people are obviously morbidly obese, that's a definitive sign that you're unhealthy versus something that's like on the inside, right? That you can't see.
So now, protein-boosted products are almost seen as a shortcut to a healthy body.
There's only one way to reach the top without sacrifice.
Protein water sounds disgusting. Sparkling protein water. Ugh.
Shortcut to a healthy body.
There's only one way to reach the top without sacrifice. Cheating.
By this point, if your product wasn't high in protein, it looked outdated. So companies either reformulated to add it, or used marketing tricks to make it seem like they had. There's one main problem with many high-protein products. They aren't high protein, and it takes a wizard to spot the tricks used to legally get away with it. Take this bag of chips, apparently high protein. Sounds solid, until you realize a serving has just 3 grams of protein.
Yeah, but you eat the whole fucking bag.
Less than a slice of bread. Then there's this high protein chocolate bar, 27 grams of protein, but also a massive 455 calories.
Should be illegal to write this on you. 20%.
Dude, I feel like the best thing that I did, like the easiest things to switch out, get rid of white bread, start eating whole wheat. Eat nuts and regular like low-fat snacks instead. Get rid of regular milk. You drink almond milk. Like there's so many like small substitutes you could do that just make your diet better that people refuse to do. And I never understand that. Nuts are high in fat. Yeah, you don't throat down an entire fucking can of peanuts, right? Nuts are high in fat. Don't eat the whole fucking thing. Eat like 2 servings because nuts are still a part of a good diet. Just because they're high in fat doesn't mean they're bad for you, right? They're bad for you if you eat a shitload of them. But, like, nuts are good for you.
Protein needs.
It feels like every aisle is now stacked with the same ultra-processed snacks. Only now, they're boasting about an extra gram or 2 of protein.
This f***ing shite has 12 grams of protein for 250 calories.
The Kardashians' popcorn has 7 grams of protein per 150 calories. Sure, it's a step up, but at twice the price, it's a pretty expensive sprinkle. How can a Nature Valley bar that's only 17% protein still slap protein on the front? To understand how that's even legal, you've got to understand the loopholes they don't want you to know about.
What do you mean legal? I feel like they could fucking throw whatever the hell they want on it. They could be like, oh, this has 10 grams of protein. That's not false marketing.
In the US, if a product has just 10 to 19% of the daily recommended value of protein, it can legally be called a good source of protein.
Oh.
20% or more, now it's high protein. But here's the catch. That daily value is based on just 50 grams of protein a day, which is...
And that is so small. Yeah, that is the weird... Don't look at the percentages. When you look at it really depends, like, how big you are, what your body size is. But I'm pretty sure the FDA makes it off of, like, a 2,000 or 2,500 calorie diet, which most people are exceeding, especially if you're, like, a guy and you're big. Like, I'm 6'1", right? I'm not eating 2,000 calories a fucking day. I would lose weight rapidly.
It's way below what most people would benefit from for fat loss or building muscle, at least according to the most up-to-date science. But by this rule, if a product has 5 grams of protein, it's a good source. 10 grams or more, now it's high protein. Even if it's surrounded by 300 calories of gloop.
5 grams of saturated fat. It has 240 milligrams of sodium, which isn't insane, but it's like, come on. Corn syrup, palm oil, like canola oil. There's so many oils. Peanut oil. What the fuck is this? Cocoa butter. It's also chocolate.
In the UK and EU, it's a little bit different. If 12% of the calories come from protein, it can be labelled as a source. Over 20%, and it's high protein. So we have many companies including just enough protein in order to make these claims. And when a company doesn't meet these already low thresholds, there's plenty of legal loopholes they can jump through. They could claim 50 grams of protein, then put in small print per pack, or as Cheerios Protein did, add an extra 0.7 grams of protein to regular Cheerios, double the portion size, and then claim 11 grams of protein with milk, which is where most of that extra protein came from, while conveniently leaving out that this great new product has 17 times the sugar per serving.
What the fuck?
And even the shakes aren't in.
Bro, and then people eat it and they're like, oh my god, this is so healthy.
Slim Fast boasts 10 grams of protein, but that's with fat-free milk. The powder on its own, a measly 2 grams of protein.
Dude, wait, this is a protein powder. It only has 2 grams of protein. What is this?
The powder on its own, a measly 2 grams of protein.
That's so ass. 4-hour hunger control.
Companies often dodge strict rules by using vague terms. Instead of saying...
Dude, I also really loved those Fairlife drinks. You know those Fairlife protein drinks? Those had, like, decent numbers on them. And then it was like, hey, they have, like, a concerning amount of lead in their drinks. You remember when that happened? Dude, I was chugging those down. It was like, yeah, it was microplastics. That's what it was. They had a concerning amount of microplastics in their drinks. I was like, oh. I still drink them time to time.
They say things like protein packed. Like these
I eat those. I eat these. I eat the protein packed shit. This is literally... I will stand on the Power Nut. You shouldn't eat the Power Nut. The Power Up Nut Mix. Not Power Nut. I will stand on this because... Yeah, you shouldn't eat the whole bag. But, I mean, dude, it's literally just almonds, cashews, raisins, pumpkin seeds, peanuts, and cherries. Like, it's not It's like very basic shit, and it's not salty at all. Like, you eat these, and it's kind of disappointing. I'm not going to lie. If you eat this mix, it kind of tastes like shit.
Protein packed. Like these protein packed balls, which only have 4 grams of protein per serving.
I also added 2 times the protein on here because companies love to do that all the time. You just have to compare to a comparable product. In this case, it has 2 times the protein of Twix.
They'll often choose a low protein product as a baseline to make bold claims. Many companies will also include imagery to give their products a health halo, including images of nutritious whole foods on the packaging. Or they'll say something like it has as much protein as an egg, implying that it's just as good, when in reality, it's nowhere near as nutritious. In fact, a lot of protein boosted foods like breads or chips use lower quality sources like pea or wheat protein.
Bro, the best way that I could describe it is if you're getting like pre-packaged, non-baked, like fresh baked bread, the worse it tastes, the better it probably is. The drier and more unappealing the bread, the better it probably is. Not always, but if you eat that shit and you're like, wow, it actually feels like I'm chewing on grains, it's probably pretty good for you. It's probably pretty good for you. Oh, wow, this is ruining my sandwich. That's healthy.
Use lower quality sources like pea or wheat protein. If you already eat plenty of meat, eggs, or dairy, it's not a big deal. But if most of your protein comes from these ultra-processed foods, you might be hitting your numbers without properly fueling for muscle repair or growth. Protein quality matters, not just the total. But even when a product adds a meaningful amount.
Yeah, but then you're getting into the argument on whether or not whey, like, is whey protein or is plant protein better for you? Like, for muscle control, you could argue, like, whey. I don't know. I think that's a different debate. Like, when I was taking a nutrition class in college, that was a whole fucking week, was the difference between, like, protein supplements and whether or not whey or plant protein's better. I used to drink whey protein a lot. Now I drink vegan protein. But that's just because I don't want to deal with the cholesterol stuff. But I don't know.
Amount of protein. It often comes with a trade-off. To mask the...
I kind of want to Google that. But that would be like, you would have to read in-depth articles. No definitive answer. Lower cholesterol and saturated fat, but the disadvantages is more expensive, lower protein content by serving, less pleasant taste, doesn't have amino acids. Yeah, so it's like you gotta weigh the pros and cons of each.
The chalky taste or rubbery texture. Companies add extra fats, sweeteners, sodium, or other additives. It might taste better, but it can also mean more calories and ingredients which don't necessarily...
Bro, love Lenny and Larry's, though. Oh, Lenny and Larry's is so bad for you. Dude, the Lenny and Larry's cookie, so gross, unpackaged. Okay, let me give you a life fucking hack. If you eat the Lenny and Larry's cookies, pop that bitch in the microwave for 20 seconds. It gets really goopy, and now it tastes so good. But if it's just a regular Lenny and Larry's cookie, solid, disgusting.
Companies will often take a high sugar, high fat bar.
What is that? You've seen them at a store. You've seen a fucking Lenny and Larry's. This is like a dessert food, by the way. This is not like an actual health food. They promote the 16 grams of fucking plant protein. But I'll eat this for dessert. You just pack, it's one big cookie that comes in a package. It has a shitload of sugar and fat, but they taste good as fuck.
Bar. Slap 10 to 20 grams of protein in it, and suddenly it's a performance snack.
This is Snickers Pro Plus, not
Snickers Pro Plus, 8 grams of protein.
Protein, just pro to imply protein. If we use a king-size Snickers bar, it has 8 grams of protein, so we can highlight that. And the plus can simply mean plus energy from...
Bro, but you gotta be a dumbass if you're buying a king-size Snickers Pro Plus bar and being like, yeah, this is my pre-workout.
Peanuts.
My post-workout bar.
This trickery is exactly why I recommend most people.
Dude, I will say this is... Focus on this, not this. I will agree that the Protein Plus pasta is a little more schemy, but I still do buy the Protein Plus pasta instead of regular pasta.
Food companies have figured out a cheat code. Slap the word protein on a product, charge extra, and watch the profits roll in. Protein pasta can be almost twice the price for just an extra 3 grams of protein. It's an easy way to charge more for your cereal. But sometimes, these are just regular products, marketed as high protein.
5.1 grams of protein. 5.1 grams of protein. Lidl, are you flipping mad?
Just about enough to claim a source of protein on the front, but it allows companies to make massive profits. And let's face it, often get away with them tasting horrendous because it's healthy.
Hi, quick question.
Oh my god, I never even thought about that. Because you're thinking it's a protein plus food, so when it tastes bad, you're going, oh my god, this actually makes me feel like I'm eating something healthier. When it's as bad as something that tastes better.
And, is the main ingredient in all protein bars shit?
With the fitness industry growing, protein has only become more valuable to the public. So when people realize they've been tricked by a protein label on regular food, they get understandably frustrated.
This is a protein bar. This is a protein bar. This is a steam.
Bro, when you go to a grocery store now, there's almost whole aisles that are dedicated to protein bars. The one that I used to eat a lot were these like Metrics ones, and they have 32 grams of protein, but they're so dry. I remember I used to munch these down in high school. 32 grams of protein per bar, bro. Oh my god. I used to mac them, but I'm pretty sure they're so fucking bad for you. Yeah, 26 grams of sugar. 6 grams of saturated fat, and like 80 ingredients.
This isn't a small trend, it's a full-blown protein gold rush. In the first 3 months of 2025 alone, 8.3% of all new food products bragged about being a source of protein. That's up from 6.1% in 2024, and just 4.6% in 2023.
What do you think the next health trend will be after it's protein? I feel like people are going to start focusing on some like hyper vitamin.
Most people still believe protein equals healthy, so companies get away with the fine print. Take these collagen protein gummies, just 0.15 grams.
Fiber. Yeah, they're going to start adding fiber. Everybody's going to be shitting their pants.
Grams of collagen per serving.
Need more clean poops.
That's less than a third of a Tic Tac. Still, people leave 5-star reviews because they taste good and they seem healthy. More and more, we're just getting catfished by clever marketing. And the worst part? They often jack up the protein while gutting the actual nutrition. Let me show you how dumb it can get. Let's say you're trying to lose weight on 2,000 calories a day with a protein goal of 150 grams. You could achieve this with the following. For breakfast, protein cereal, a protein Pop-Tart, some collagen gummies, and a Hubba Bubba whey shake. For lunch,
Hubba Bubba, the gum company, has a blue raz protein shake. That sounds fucking gross.
For lunch, protein spread in a protein sandwich, some birthday cake peanut butter protein, and protein chips. For dinner, protein pizza with a protein beer to wash it down. Still under your goal? No worries, just vape the rest. Congrats, you hit
vape? There's peppermint vapes? That's not possible.
Vape the rest.
Peppermint vape that has protein? It's not possible to vape protein molecules.
Congrats, you hit your macros. Now try not to protein yourself, because you've consumed loads of sugar alcohols and additives, not nearly enough fiber, and you'll probably still be hungry, since ultra-processed food just isn't as filling as whole foods. I learnt the hard way as a teenager. During lockdown, there wasn't much fresh food in my area, and I was convinced COVID meant instant death. So I basically lived on protein products ordered online. Sure, I hit my calories and lost weight, but I also racked up deficiencies, felt bloated, and barely ate any fruit or veg. These products tend to be stripped of the vitamins, minerals.
I eat too much fruit, bro. It makes my teeth yellow. I drink too much coffee and I eat too much fucking fruit, dude. I have to do whitening strips like constantly. It's gross. I eat absurd amounts of fruit, like bowls of fruit. I'll eat a case of blueberries, whole fucking bag of grapes.
And phytonutrients you'd find
Eat that shit off the vine.
in whole foods. And Michael Pollan calls that narrow thinking nutritionism.
I had to read that book, I think. Actually, no, I didn't.
Nutritionism. To make things worse, protein fortified junk often comes with a premium price tag, which is the main issue, especially when you consider that most of these products aren't really high protein. All these products have their place in a balanced diet, but if your diet boils down to chasing protein claims on flashy labels, you've basically become a marketer's dream.
Your protein powder.
What's the next step?
protein products.
I think the fix to this is just eat more balanced protein things, right? Like eat more vegetables that are high in protein, eat more meats that are high in protein and not unhealthy for you. I think a lot of people do the exact opposite and then get into that like alpha mindset where they're like, I'm gonna eat raw walnuts. I gotta eat lamb eyeballs. I gotta start eating I'm gonna start eating skin.
Shouldn't be demonized. They can offer convenience and often taste surprisingly good. If a shake helps you hit your protein goal, brilliant. But many companies are just passing off regular treats as protein products.
What protein should I eat then? Meats, fish, right? Shrimp, chicken. You could eat beef or pork. Outside of that, like there's other things like lentils, peas, beans. There's a lot of things that have protein.
All the while, actual Whole Foods sits sadly in the corner with no
eggs, egg whites,
marketing team behind them. And here's the punchline. Some of the products marketed as high protein have even less protein than they claim. Take Lenny and Larry's cookies. They proudly claim 16 grams of protein with over 400 calories. Already a bit questionable.
Oh yeah, dude, look how bad they are. Oh my god. They're so good though. The double chocolate chip. They have the vanilla macadamia nut.
But when tested,
I'd kill a squirrel for that.
They were found to have 4 to 9 grams of protein, which is what I love about a piece of chicken and Whole Foods. No bullshit or asterisks involved. So here's a question worth asking. If the protein bars and cookies that you're relying on turned out to not be high in protein, would your diet fall apart? Because if the answer is yes, probably a red flag. One simple test, which helps me choose shakes and bars, is to take the calories, knock off the last 0 and compare. If a product has more grams of protein than this number, it's pretty good. So
yeah, bro, but I hate when people market the David protein bar, bro. It's so annoying on TikTok. May still taste like shit. Oh no, definitely the David protein bars are cheaper than they've ever been. You can buy a whole box. You're basically stealing it from them. They made too many by accident. Fuck some jerk off on TikTok. I might use my affiliate code.
If a product has more grams of protein than this number, it's pretty good. So a bar with 190 calories and 20 grams of protein, decent. But 480 calories and 16 grams of protein is starting to look more like expensive candy with a protein sticker. Protein isn't the problem, the marketing is. And the craze isn't slowing down, but you can before buying into the next shiny label.
Damn, this is really making me fucking, gear up to just start eating rotisserie chickens by the whole. I love that video. Next, care for the sub.